I would love to call up on stage my favorite Koyel Mallick for the next session. Koyel Mallick, Koyel সম্বন্ধে কয়েকটা line. Please welcome the reigning queen of Bengali cinema, the radiant and immensely talented Koyel Mallick, born into a family of cinematic legacy as the daughter of legendary actor Ranjit Mallick. Koyel carved her own path with a debut film, Nater Guru, which instantly made her household name. Over the years, she has delivered unforgettable performances in films like Shubho Drishti, Paglu, Bolo Na Tumi Amar and Arundhati. Koyel, please come up on stage, and to moderate the session, I would love to call up on stage RJ Smriti. A big round of applause for them. Smriti hosts Box Office and she is the Bollywood and Tollywood queen. So well, a very few lines about Smriti. You are amazing, you are so talented and you are the rock star. Well, the session that they are hosting, it's how cinema connects with and transforms audiences, identities and aspirations. So a big round of applause for Koyel Mallick.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. First of all, a very warm welcome at the ABP Live Impact Makers Conclave. And I have this wonderful opportunity of sitting with the one and only Koyel Mallick. But before that, one of your handles says, "You're Koyel." But this superstar in our lives is our very own Koyel. And I would like to further add Queen Koyel, as the fan calls. A big round of applause for the one and only Koyel Mallick. So, Koyel, I have lots of questions. I wish I could, go ahead and ask some personal questions also. But to begin with,
yes.
Very
good evening to everybody.
How do you afford to look so pretty all the time?
Oh, please don't embarrass me. Nothing like that. I just think that I have a beautiful family life with raising two lovely kids. I think that itself gives me so much of joy that every day, every morning I wake up just to see their faces. Yeah, so life has become even more beautiful after being a mother.
Wonderful. Koyel, I remember meeting you for the very first time in 2014 for Arundhati. That was the first memory of me with you. From then till now, you've just not changed. You're such a wonderful, wonderful person, as always. So I've got some questions with me before they tell me that, oh, time's ticking already. Let's cover them. From Hemlock Society to some fun entertainers like Paglu, you've done it all. How do you balance these together?
I think, see, it's been a magical journey of more than 2 decades now. Because when I started, I was in my college, I was doing my psychology honors, and I was happily and gleefully doing so, without an iota of thought that I'll be getting into an industry like this, which is so beautiful. Having played so many characters is beautiful, like the way you just mentioned about Paglu, Arundhati, Hemlock Society, and all of that. A range of characters that I could play. It is all thanks to my directors and my producers who've had faith in me. So getting into roles have been fun. It is fantastic because, every time when you play a role of a queen or like in Hemlock was a very depressed girl who was suicidal, which is absolutely opposite to what I was playing at that point of time. It is fun because, when you're getting into a personality, when you're getting into a character, you get up in the morning, and when you start preparing yourself for that one particular character, you start living that character. You start breathing life into that character. So for me, I think I try to remain 100% honest to the character and honest to my audience, because they are the ones who've had faith in me, who have been blessing me for so many years. So which is the reason I think my commitment goes 100% to that.
No wonder you're Queen Koyel for them. So as you grow in life, as an actor, mother, a woman, how do you balance your personal growth with audience's fixed image of Koyel Mallick?
Not exactly a fixed image. Even if it is so, I would like to thank the audience because that has also unknowingly helped me to anchor myself to a particular belief or particular values that my audience loves me because I do such things and because finally at the end of the day I want the love of my audience. I'll do everything that my audience would love to see me in. So that also helps me to get anchored to those beautiful things.
মানে কোনোদিন এমন শুনেছো যে কোয়েল দি বদলে গেছো বা কোয়েল দি ইউ আর সেম দ্য ওয়ে ইউ ওয়ার?
See, change is inevitable. You have to change. And it is fun to see, actually, from the time that I had started, at that point of time, there were quite a few contents which were not really taken well by the audience. But now, of late, maybe after 2020, of more of OTT and stuff like that, where people have got hold of lot of world cinema, I think the audience has also started liking very out of the box kind of contents and different sort of characters that they are open like they are just embracing them with open arms. So I think that has also helped me to kind of take up those kind of challenging characters that I at one point of time would have loved to, but I could not, just with the fear that if at all the audience would not like. But now, because they have started liking, it's even better for me that I'm kind of going through that kind of range of different sort of characters which are coming my way.
Right, fantastic. You saying liking, I'm sure the audience, they can't move their eyes from you. They love you.
Thank you very much for your generous and kind words. Please, thank you so much.
Mean every word, Koyel.
Thank you.
So, you've received awards like BFJ, Filmfare Bangla, and Mahanayak Shamman in 2023. Which award felt the most special to you and why?
Every award has been, I think it's about acknowledging my contribution to films. So I can't really pick one out of everything because all of them have been very, very close to my heart. And above everything, it is the love of the audience and the blessings which have kept me going. So I think that is the biggest award that any actor could ask for.
They love you. Blessings always there with you. So as a journalist in MLA Patakeshto, you showed importance of truth and accountability. Did this role affect your personality by any chance?
See, I like to have this attachment-detachment theory when it comes to getting into roles or characters, because I don't like to bring back the baggage of a particular role to my house. If that would be, because in a way that would be affecting me emotionally. There are a couple of roles which have affected me emotionally, like sometimes there was a film that I did, Rokto Rahosyo, where I was playing a character of a mother who has been very badly cheated with the son. So, that character was actually taking me a lot into, what do I say? It was just getting inside me. And unknowingly, I was getting into the character so much that was draining me out emotionally. So I think for me, I've always tried keeping a balance with the characters so that I know that when I'm in front of the camera, from action to cut, I will be playing that character with absolute honesty. But when it comes to going back home, I can't be taking it back with me. I have to breathe as Koyel, the girl, who is just a girl, like any other simple, ordinary girl. She is back home as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter. and not an actor anymore. So I like to keep that balance intact.
Right. You just mentioned this character drained you out. On that note, it's a personal question. Like, how do you balance the emotions of life? Whenever it's draining you out, you're stuck, your mind's not working. What does Koyal do?
Uh, I think there's something, I'm a very spiritual person. I think that is one thing which has helped me to anchor myself with my thoughts of peace. Because above everything, that is one thing that I kind of hold very close to my heart, is the peace. Many people say it's about the happiness. I think happiness, sadness, sorrow, grief, everything is very temporary. But when it comes to peace, it is something which is there within you and which is going to help you, keep you afloat with anything which can happen in life. I still remember when in 2020, when COVID struck us and there was so many bad news around, the same time I became a mother, and it was sudden shock that we all were affected with COVID and we all had it together. And me and my son were in one room, and that at that point of time, I think I was just listening to all kirtans, all bhajans, all meditations. I was just kind of, I think from that time onwards, I feel, as it is, I've been a spiritual person, and from that time onwards, I've become even more. Because, so I think, coming back to the question that you asked me, I think that is the thing which has helped me, keep a nice peace with me and myself, is that things will happen in life, but you just smile through it all, because this is just a life lesson. You learn from the lessons, and then you move ahead with a smile, with blessings.
You become stronger.
Yes, you become stronger, definitely.
Balo theko ma. So Bengali cinema has gone through remakes, as we were discussing a while back, that how the preferences of the audiences have changed and new stories are entering the market. What kind of scripts do you want to see in future? Would you keep the audience perspective?
I don't know the exact translation of a Bengali word hangla. I'm very hangla when it comes to very good scripts and very good characters, because there's so many stories to be told to my audience. There are so many lovely characters that I would love to portray in films. Um, so there is no one specific character. Maybe, if you talk about a Meghetaka Tara, Shupriya Devi, or a Shoptapodi, Shuchitra Sen's character, or, a Meryl Streep's character, just any film of Meryl Streep maybe. So I think, it is very difficult for me to kind of just pick and choose one. I would love to do a lot many characters. I've done quite a few characters, but there's a huge range of personalities that we see in the world. So there's so many characters for me to play. I would love to have nice, challenging characters to play, and it would be fantastic if that happens.
Right, the husband producer must note this. So Indian films often show ambition as moving to a big city or having a flashy job. How can cinema better show small town or simple aspirations, Koyal?
Once again, please.
So Indian films often show ambition as moving to a big city or having a flashy life. How can cinema better show small town growth? Or having simple aspirations. Maybe I don't want to go to a big city or to Delhi, to a Bombay. I would rather be here in Kolkata, maybe in Madhyam Gram, and earn my life. So, what do you think? Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Actually, in Bombay, I think there are quite a few films which have started happening that way, connected to small towns. I remember watching one beautiful film, Lapata Ladies, which has been something like that itself. In Bengal also, there are quite a few films which are being made, not very urban, more on the small town stories and families and everything. Yeah, that definitely is beautiful when it comes to little joys in life. those simple being, those simple innocent lives that we have seen in Pothir Pachali maybe. I think that has been the biggest example, which has taken Bengali cinema to world cinema, which is Pothir Pachali. I think that rounds up the question that you're asking me. Definitely, it would be a great thing having those kind of films made.
Absolutely. So in Mitin Mashi, you were an action hero fighting poachers. And I remember interviewing you in the studio. From now to then, did boys and girls react differently to seeing a woman-led an action film, leading an action film?
It was actually beautiful. You know, the first time when we did Mitin Mashi, a story very beautifully written by Suchitra Bhattacharya. When I had read the story, I really did not think that a film would be ever made on Mitin Mashi and I would be playing that pivotal character. Um, so in my interviews, I remember it was a very interesting way when the first Mitin was just about to release, and in my questions, in my interviews, there were people asking me, how do you like playing a female detective? And I was thinking, what about a female detective? I mean, detective is a detective because a detective only plays with her brain, irrespective of any kind of gender. If it's a man or a woman, would not really matter at all, because it's finally the gray matter inside the head which matters the most, and that is being a detective. So I think that was a question that was kind of surprising me to a certain extent, and I would actually answer them just the way I'm answering now. But I'm so glad that it was such a big blockbuster, and thanks to my audience, that that really didn't matter to them, because that was the first time a female who played a detective on screen. Because before that, it was Bomkesh, Bakshi, then Peluda, and so many others. But that was the first female detective, and it was taken so well by the audience. So I was so happy. I was on my ninth cloud. I was flying and jumping with glee.
Wonderful. So last but not the least, wish we could ask so many questions. But female-led films are still less common, as we were discussing. What responsibility do stars have in making men also excited to watch such stories?
See, I beg to differ on that, because in my life's career, all the films that I've chosen, whether they are emotional stories or whether they are family-based stories, whether they are romantic stories, I always made it a point that my character has to be very, very important. So maybe not female-led, but that was also not male-led. So it was a family story where just like our families, every person is important. The same way, those kind of films that I have done, family films and emotional films and, maybe psychological films and those kind of romantic films, I've always played very important characters. Unknowingly, consciously, I don't know how, I like choosing the characters that I feel will be uplifting the audience, the women, especially thinking that, okay, the girl on screen is doing that, that means I can do the same. So I think there's a conscious effort on my side that I've always liked choosing very strong female characters. And of late, definitely, I've also, whether it's Hemlock Society or Orundhuti or Jackpot, or there's so many films that I can't really, I mean, right at this point of time, I'm already more than 50 films old. So I can't really pick and, I can't tell you in specific, but there are so many multiple films that I've done where uh, even very recently, there's one unreleased film, Sharthapur. I'm really looking forward to that film because it's a beautiful story again. That will be releasing very soon this year. So yeah, so there are few female-oriented, female-led, and like Nitin also. But also the other films also have been very strong characters, female characters. I've loved playing all of them, and thankfully my audience has taken it very well, which has given me the courage to do more such films and, present it to my audience.
Wow, actually with your work and with the way you are, you give courage to so many women around, to me, to us, to all of us. So
very
sitting
much.
here at the ABP Live Impact Makers Conclave, what would you like to say? Few last words, not the least as we expect. What do you like to say?
Uh, I would just like to say that I just got to know that I'll be getting an award. So that itself is a great thing. It's a great honor. And I'm really humbled, elated, and honored to be receiving this award. Thank you very, very much, because it definitely means more responsibilities to take, because with just an award, it is not just the acknowledgement of the contribution that I've made in films, but it's also about the responsibility of making many, many more good films. So thank you very much for having this faith in me, and I would like to dedicate this award also to my producers and my directors who've chosen me in their films. And obviously, I have to mention my audience, whose love, support, and blessings have been on me, and which is the reason that I could, you know, have a beautiful and a very, very magical journey in cinema.
Oshanko Dhonnobad. Thank you so much, Koyel, for impacting our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Koyel Mallick.
Smriti, that was awesome. Thank you so very much.